Hey everybody, it's Carl's from Immortals podcast. And hey Mike, do you watch the news at all in the morning?
Nope.
When you wake up?
No, it's depressing.
It's depressing. Listen, so I got two types of news. I got world news, I got work news, and then I got this place news. And I watch a lot of it. And why?
Why? That's a good question.
So anyway, all kidding aside, we got another podcast we're gonna do, but I came down here and I'm thinking, man. So first off, you got the GW going after people, which I watched that one at length, like what that's about, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have to probably side with GW on it in a legal matter because it is right, it's their IP. If people are taking it, then yeah, they kind of threw a hand grenade into this particular thing, but they also have compensation for those that don't. And, remember the old OGL, the old D&D when they tried to change the OGL license, to allow people to make content and everything like that? Well, I just saw that Daggerheart, the role-playing game, they did the same thing. They actually went through their open gaming license and they found out that there's pretty much the same kind of you own nothing kind of like deal about, making content for their game, which I kind of understand. Like, it's kind of funny because they're the same group that campaigned against what they did, and then they just did it themselves. I've heard excuses where I don't know that much about it. I read it a little bit, but I'm like, it's pretty much the same thing they were just complaining about. Having said that, I'm not going to get into that because do you care about that too much?
No.
I don't. I mean, I don't know enough about it. I can read it, and I'm not really. My point was that I think when I came in, I wake up and there's all this news about it. And it's like, all right, maybe it's my feed because I'm a store owner, so I see more of it. But there's also all the people that enjoy playing it. So we just had a Daggerheart event, and we just
pretty successul too.
Yeah, you actually got a paid ticket. It's you when you pay for an event here, you usually get like the special DMs and you get food and other stuff going on. So I was here for that. I was listening to it. Everybody was laughing and joking and having a good time, and it was just a lot of happiness coming out of that back room,
Mm-hmm.
And nobody seemed to care. None of that other stuff mattered to them, So I think that was the important takeaway from that. And same thing with GW. Like GW, they come out with all these articles about this, that, and GW did this, and look what they did to these little creators. And but the players didn't care. They just wanted to play a game, And they come in, they buy their miniatures, they go play their games, they talk about the rules. There's stuff they wish they would see. Like, I wish GW would do this, or you can't make everybody happy about it. But I guess the point of this is really not important. It's like, just take it for what it, take it with a grain of salt. If you're playing the game and you enjoy it, support them, buy something from them. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't buy something from them, they're not going to be able to produce the game. I mean, that's just a cut and dry end of that. So I don't know. What do you think?
So when that OGL stuff came out, what was that, 2 years ago?
2 going on 3, yeah.
Yeah, so like, we remember how that was. A lot of good games came out of that, and then also I feel like people just brushed it over. Like 2 years later, like they went back, they saw the backlash, they went back, and it's not that big of a deal now, like. Well,
they never changed it. They went, they released it or whatever happened. It snuck out.
Yeah.
And, so then everybody got upset about it, and they're like, "Oh, we can't do this, we can't do that." And it's like, okay, we won't do it, But it does help them. I understand their point. Like I've always said, I understand their point. It does help grow the brand. Like, this is D&D. You can make a bunch of content, and there's fill in gaps and everything like that. But like GW does it in a weird GW way. You
kind of have a story about how GW.
Huh?
You have a theory.
The spy.
You have a theory on the spy.
It was pretty funny, but I didn't even want to share that because I have no basis for it other than it might have been a random group of coincidences, but it does happen, like the secret shopper, You're in Northern Ohio, man. It's hard to.
You might have had one of those a week or two ago. It's kind of
hard to hide,
He wouldn't tell you where he was, why he was there.
That's a strange accent. Is that That's not Amish, is it?
Is that Yorkshire? No, can't be.
No, I think it was just random because we get a lot of people from different places in here, so it's no big deal. But I just found it fun. I think putting that story together was more funny. That could be like a members only deal because that is a funny story, and I don't want to like besmirch. Is that the word?
Yeah, disparage.
Is
that a word?
It disparages, but I don't think it fits. I think
Does it fit?
I don't want to like throw fault or say it was because I have no basis for it other than I found it funny and at the time. And so where was I going with that? Oh, I forgot where I was going with that. Oh, the OGL. GW. Like, yeah, I totally lost my train of thought on that.
Like GW, how they handle it differently.
Oh yeah, they handle it differently. They're very aggressive about it, but at the same time, they're like, "Hey, what do you got?" And they'll take it and pick. But it's a business, they have to stay in business. So like, it's a multi-billion-dollar.
So what did they do right that what Wizards didn't do right?
Honestly, my opinion, they backed down. Like if Wizard would have just said, "No, this is the way we're doing it," and just been done with it as a business decision, you would have had a lot of grumblings and all this other stuff. But I think they would have just said, okay, either it could go two ways. It could either fail or it could take off, If it totally failed and the game disappeared, then yeah, that's bad for everybody because nobody wants the game to go away. It's a fun game. If they would have they would have had to dealt with it. I think they're still dealing with the problems now because even that's what happened. They have all these other games coming out like Shadow Dark and Daggerheart and like a lot of these other third-party games are starting to take off. And I think that's a result of that. So now Wizards and D&D and Hasbro are like running around. They're not even running around. They're just looking at the next adventure. That's why you see a lot of talk about the electronics or the pay to play or the D&D Beyond where you're on a computer. Like I don't even know how to make a D&D character anymore. Like I don't play it that much, but I'm sure if I sat down for 2 seconds I could do it. But
beats me.
But a lot of it became overly complicated. So they're looking for different sources of revenue. But it's not even a but that affects their content. When's the last time a D&D book came out? Besides the unceremonious release of the D&D core books, which are pretty unceremonious.
Had to have been like 2022 or something like that.
Yeah, it was a while ago. It was like probably right around.
Wasn't there
2 years ago? Probably right around that OGL
Radiant
incident.
Citadel or Staircase
like
or something like that.
Yeah,
or
it
was the Dragonlance. I don't know, but
Dragonlance might have been.
It was around all that.
So it's like nothing really is like pow. Here it is. And then the new Dragon anthology they're coming out with. So we've had pre-orders on that, but a lot of people. It's not like it was where it's like, hey, what's the next one? What's the next one? And now it's like, which is sad for them, but hopefully they survive. But in my opinion, I think if they would have just said, hey, this is the way we're going to do it, and that's just the way life's going to be. But then you had a lot of, and I find it funny in a weird way that the biggest group that was campaigning against that, which would have been, Daggerheart's people, was a Critical Role or whatever it might be, come out with their own game, and then they basically do the same thing. From what I understand, I've watched a lot of the YouTube, and it's on their. It's in this section 5 of their, OGL. It's basically the same thing from what I read. So I could be wrong. So it's just a hot mess. But anyway, all that doesn't matter to players. You want to play, and all I'm saying is, go have fun with the game. Don't get bogged down in all this
media
business nonsense,
stuff,
the controversy or the clickbait or whatever it might be. Like even this might be a little clickbaity, but this
not
just
really. I could make it a clickbait title.
Yeah, I don't make it a clickbait.
Hopefully, I didn't.
Maybe we'll try.
Good for views, right? Clickbait.
But I guess my message is: no matter what you play, GW, D&D, Daggerheart, any of all that nonsense, just play the game because you like it. Don't play it because I choose this side. Don't get all tribal about it. Just say, hey, I want to try this game. Try something different. You might want to try Daggerheart and have a good time. Everybody who played it seemed to like it. Doesn't seem like my cup of tea. Just like Shadow Dark. Doesn't seem like everybody's cup of tea, but it's mine. Apparently it's a lot of guys because we just sold out again and I just got a new stock.
Restock.
I got a restock in it. So
restock alert.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff out there. So give it a try, I guess. Don't worry about what everybody else says. Take this as a benefit as a player and somebody who enjoys games that there's just a lot more options. Don't get bogged down in the nonsense of the business. because like that's where I'm at now. Like as the owner of the store, the business side of it. When's the last time you saw me sit down and play a game? Like it's been a while. I'll play here and there. I'll read about games. I'll do this. It's hard. The business part is hard. You got to make decisions.
Yeah, you're so sucked into it all the time. You're like, you're kind of like, you're not motivated to do it either.
You gotta, you gotta make rent. You gotta pay bills. You gotta get mad about stupid things. You gotta answer 1-star reviews with no reason.
Same
why.
last name on multiple. Yeah.
Thanks, there, Mr. Ross and
Mr. Ross,
the Ross family for
your honest review.
Yeah, your honest review of nothing.
We apologize that there was no explanation, but we hope we can improve that to 1.5 next time.
Yeah,
and 2.
Tell us what we did wrong, and we'll improve it. That's all I'm asking.
Tell us what we did wrong. Change my mind.
I say that, and I go back, and there's like a bunch of 1-stars because people are just being nasty.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
No, nothing. You got to keep trucking forward.
Keep on trucking.
Appreciate those that trucked with us.
But if you like our generic talk about just play a game and have fun, give us a like, give us a subscribe. If you don't, then tell us what we can do to do better.
Yeah. See you guys later.
All right, bye.